Meeting is called to order at 6:08. Do I have President Ayash? Ayash, President Hall?
Present.
Algahan?
Present.
Obey?
President.
Hedgewan, Watson, Ferris, absent. All right, resolution 1, acceptance of agenda. Motion?
Motion.
Second. Algahan, Obey. Resolve the Board of Ed does hereby accept and approve the agenda with any additions or deletions. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 4 ayes, 3 absent. And we're going to move on to acknowledgements. October is Principals Month, so happy Principals Month to all our principals in the building. And then if the Vote Yes committee is here, can y'all please stand up? Anyone that's been part of the committee, volunteered for the committee, if you're in the crowd, please stand up. No one's here?
Guess no one except me.
Oh. No, stand up, honestly, stand up. So thank you to the committee, thank you to all the Hamtramck residents who went out and voted. Our millage passed as HPS as well as Wayne County millage, so round of applause for all the volunteers. Thank you all so much. All right, I'm going to pass this next one over to Mr. Vice President for the boys middle school soccer team. Do you have more insight? Take it away.
I'd like to recognize and thank all the coaches and middle school players for amazing season. They went undefeated all season with their regular season, and then got to the quarterfinals and lost with 2 minutes left in the game. The Go Tigers will be back, and I also like to thank and recognize I think 3 staff members. Mr. Hanskinek, Ms. Nagel,
If you guys are in the crowd, stand
and
up.
Ms. Hamka, for always being supportive of the kids and always being there every single game.
And congratulations to our Tigers. Hopefully next season's undefeated. Thank you so much. All right, resolution number 2, approval of employment. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Algahan, second.
Second.
Obey. Resolve the Board of Ed does hereby approve the employment of Christina Govan as an HR specialist, annual salary of $85K, effective November 25th, 2024. Christina, are you in the crowd? Hi, how you doing? Okay. After the vote, yeah, would you mind coming up to say hello to the board members? Yeah, after we vote. Any discussion? How do you vote, Hall?
Aye.
Obey.
Aye.
Algahan?
Aye.
Ayash, aye. Resolution passes. Welcome to HPS. Christina, come on up. Thank you so much and welcome to our central office. Resolution number 3, approval of employment. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Obey.
Second.
Algahan, resolve the Board of Ed does hereby approve the employment of Diana Hack as an HR specialist, annual salary of $85K, effective December 2nd, 2024. Diane, are you in the audience? Hi, same thing after the vote. Any discussion? How do you vote? Obey.
Aye.
Algahan?
Aye.
Paul?
Aye.
And Ayash, aye. Resolution passes. Welcome to the HPS, not family. Welcome, Brian. Hi. Take care.
Let's see again.
Welcome, welcome. Resolution 4, approval of employment. Approval of employment. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Algahan, second.
I second.
I heard Obey first. Resolve the Board of Ed does hereby approve the employment of Jillian Boston as the payroll coordinator, annual salary $85K, effective December 2nd, 2024. Jillian, are you in the crowd? Let's see.
I think she was here all day.
That's right.
She left a little bit early.
Okay, any discussion? How do you vote, Algahan?
Aye.
Obey?
Aye.
Paul?
Aye.
And Ayash, aye. Resolution passes. Welcome to HPS, Jillian. Resolution 5, approval of employment. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Algahan, second.
Second.
Obey. Resolve the Board of Ed does hereby approve the employment of Tyrone Weeks as the Director of State and Federal Funding, annual salary $125K, effective November 11, 2024. Do we have a discussion? All right, how do you vote? Obey?
Aye.
Algahan?
Aye.
Paul?
Aye.
And Ayash, aye. Mr. Weeks, are you here?
Yes.
Oh, perfect. Come on up. Hi, congratulations and welcome to HPS. Welcome, welcome. All right, welcome to HPS. Resolution number 6, approval of purchase. Do we have a motion?
I'll motion.
Okay, do we have a second?
A second.
Obey resolve, the Board of Ed does hereby approve the purchase of Teachtown, sorry, not Teachtown, Special ed curriculum, a 5-year contract, total price not to exceed $195,654.34. Purchase funded through our idea flow through. Dr. Cobb, are you in the audience? Awesome, come on up.
I brought Teach Down with me.
Let's teach now, come on up too, stand around. So this is a curriculum, like it says, a 5-year contract for our special ed curriculum here at HPS. If you guys want to give us a walkthrough of how you kind of went through it, I know. Hit the mic to turn it right if you guys want to talk to it.
Do I need a mic? Can you hear?
I think you're good.
So Teach Town is a curriculum that we would like to implement for our self-contained settings. It's a program that runs pre-K through 12th grade. So it will support the students using the Michigan Essential Elements in developing it creates lesson plans. It has all of the materials that a student would need, and there's lots of evidence-based practices and support that they have that comes with it. We did do a demo where our Vice President Algahame participated, as well as some of the teachers who would be utilizing it. And all at my desk I asked for feedback, and they all stated that it seemed like a really good program that they would be excited to implement. And we also attempted to bring forth the information to our families by sending home letters, just letting them know that we were presenting it to the board today in hopes of it being approved.
Thank you. Does anyone have any questions for Teach Town or Dr. Kraft? Good? You guys are good? All right, thank you, and thank y'all for coming. How do you vote, Obey?
Aye.
Paul? Paul Getting?
Aye.
And I answer that resolution passes 4 ayes, 3 absent. Resolution 7, approval of purchase. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Algahame, second. Paul. Resolved that the Board of Ed does hereby approve the purchase of security cameras, including installation, programming, and cabling for the Kona building from Presidio, total cost not to exceed $56,731.79. Purchase funded through general fund. Mark, come on up, please. Hello.
Hi.
This looks like it's part of a 2-part purchase. So can you explain what the board had approved last month, what you're asking for this month?
Yep, the board approved the replacement of our primary camera servers for the district. They were getting near decade old. And we had to increase the capacity on them anyways to add Conan. So we just went ahead and got it quoted as both replacement and a capacity increase. So we'll also be taking some of the servers that are aged, like the buildings and grounds server, the ECE server, and condensing those into them as well.
So when you say you're condensing them, where are they going?
The primary, the head end of the district's at the high school, so
Okay.
they'd be at the high school.
And if you move over to Kona building, are you gonna move any of that stuff over there or no?
Most of the infrastructure and power and things, air conditioning, the mini split unit, that it would be very costly to start moving things, I think. All the district's fiber optic cabling terminates at the head end of the high school.
Okay.
So it's the heart of the district's right there at the high school.
All right.
So we're gonna keep them in the high school?
I think that would be the best idea because it's a centralized location. All of the circuits go back to the high school. If we started to try and push all those cameras over a single circuit, we could, feasibly see a decrease in performance. So.
All right, and so this purchase is just for the Kona building, the cameras, resolution 7?
Yep, that's strictly that campus. Yep.
All right, any other questions?
Just a general question. Do the cameras have any voice?
So the cameras would have the capability of voice, but I don't think we're supposed to record voice.
Okay, just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, I've never activated any of it in software, but yeah, I'm pretty sure we're not supposed to record it, so I stick with it. I even go as far as I try to, I don't like, and I don't think we're supposed to record like private property, so we try to set up the motion detection and recording to not activate when you get to a certain point, so.
Good.
All right, any other discussion? All right, how do you vote, Alden?
Aye.
Hall?
Aye.
Obey?
Aye.
Aye, resolution passes, 4 ayes, 3 absent. Resolution 8, approval of purchase motion.
Motion.
Alden, second.
Second.
Obey, resolve the Board of Ed does hereby approve the purchase of installation and servicing of the code and access control system and upgrade district-wide from Presidio. Total amount not to exceed $69,015.38, and take over access control throughout the district. Total amount $13,186.01. Grind a total amount of $82,201.39, funded through general fund. Explain this purchase, please.
Sure. So Presidio actually was our original access control vendor, so I brought them out to quote us. Based off of what they were offering, they were still less expensive than the next company, and we were getting new software as well. So I thought that it would be prudent to go with Presidio. So what's happening is they're installing the necessary electronics and hardware at the Conant building, providing us with the licensing and software for that equipment. And then they also, our existing equipment in the other buildings, our existing electronics, they're going to program those into the system too, so we have like unified software across the district, so we're not logging into this server for this building, so.
Right, but it's the language they take over of access control.
He worded that, yeah. It just means that the software that's currently controlling all the door locks and the access control cards is going to get changed over to a different software that does pretty much the exact same thing. So, and we're not required to have annual support for the company either. So, which it'll save us money in annual costs. So,
Right, but what do you mean by that?
the annual support.
Yeah.
It's like a contract you have with a vendor where they charge you X amount of dollars. I think ours was like $2,500 a year, if memory serves correctly.
So-
I can check if you want a real,
But I'm
concrete
asking,
number.
So the access control would be in-house now versus with Presidio, or what are you saying?
It's always been in-house. They're just the installers.
So they're
They're the vendor. I can't go buy this software by myself. I have
Sure.
to use a vendor.
Yeah.
So they would just be the ones to come in, program it, and there's actually some programming I have to do too, but they do the majority of the programming and installation of the hardware and software.
And so for this route, how does it save you the annual support fee?
Because the company that we had before, we had an annual support contract with the vendor where we renewed it. So if we had issues with the software,
Who do we currently have then?
well, it was Presidio. Right now we have Compass Tech that we're using, but we're not going to be using them anymore.
So if you have an issue now, what would be?
Like in the interim,
Yeah.
I would fix it. I'd find it. It just takes,
So it's gonna be in the house fixing all this stuff.
Well, we fix a lot of it now too, but I don't plan on paying for a support contract. We would just pay for like an upgrade down the road to, modernize, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what is down the road looking like? So if we do this purchase tonight, for getting the physical camera equipment for Conant building, and then updating the system for the district, and taking over access control from Compass Tech, if or when do you plan on doing stuff with security cameras in the future? Do you have a timeline?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the last part of the question.
So after this purchase, how long are we going to be good with our security system?
Well, I'm taking the approach, like a maintenance approach to the security system. So like, if like lightning strikes a camera or something, we may be replacing electronics. But I was taking like a maintenance, just replace, break, fix, just in time type of situation with the cameras. Instead of, dropping, nowadays probably like a complete reinstall of the whole system would be creeping up on $1 million. So if the cameras are fully functional, I didn't see a reason to just start replacing them because they're serving a purpose.
Okay. Any other questions? How do you vote, Olgaheim?
Aye.
Hall? Obey?
Aye.
And I, resolution passes, 4 ayes, 3 absent. Resolution 9, approval of purchase, do I have a motion?
Motion.
Olgaheim? Obey. Resolve the Board of Ed does hereby approve the purchase of 40 printer copiers to provide replacement and modernization from American Office Solutions, total monthly lease amount of $5,206.48, funded through general fund. So the language here is kind of confusing. Are we purchasing them or are we leasing them?
Well, it's considered a purchase, I'm bringing it before you, it's considered a purchase, but what it is it's a lease with a $1 buyout. So we pay a lease cost and the repairs and the toner are included. And then at the end of the 6-year period, we have the option, we buy the printers out for $1 a piece, and generally we recycle them by that time because they're pretty used up. But it's a partnership with the company. So we're, AOC would be providing us our larger copier multifunction printers, repairs and support for the next 6 years.
And how many buildings?
All of them.
All of them? Okay. Any other questions? How do you vote, Obey?
Aye.
Hall?
Aye.
Elgaheim?
Aye.
And I, resolution passes, 4 ayes, 3 absent. Resolution 10, approval of purchase, do I have a motion?
Motion.
Elgaheim, second.
Second.
Obey. Resolve the Board of Ed does hereby approve the purchase of a gym night intensive coaching program for the instructional coaches, cost of $2,000 per coach, so 10 of them total, plus airfare and overnight stays in Kansas, funded through 27Q grant. I think this is a Heather question.
Yes.
Heather, come on up.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You can never hear. There.
All right, this resolution is also worded funky. What is the total cost from the grant that you're using to send these coaches out?
We're estimating, well, the institute itself is
It's still
2,000, is it not on?
It's gotta be read.
Yep.
It's $2,000 per coach,
Mhm.
and then we're estimating about $2,000 in travel costs.
Right, so we have the 20,000 for the conference, or the program, and then you said how much for the travel cost?
We didn't get any like quotes or anything yet, but we're estimating about, with food and hotel, about $2,000 per coach.
So it'd be 4,000 times 10, so 40,000?
Yeah, the 20,000 was just the institute itself.
Right, and then it's through this funding, and then do they have to repeat this program?
No, there will be it's an intensive program, so they leave with a certification.
When do they head out?
I'm sorry,
When is it, like when do they head out?
January is the next one.
January?
They have them like on a rotational basis, but the next
Okay.
one is in January.
And it's just gonna be the instructional coaches?
Yes.
Okay, any other questions? All right, how do you vote, okay?
Aye.
Okay,
Aye.
not me, Hall?
Aye.
And I, resolution passes, 4 ayes, 3 absent, so resolution 11, awarding a bid, motion?
Motion.
I heard, Wade and Elgaheim. Resolve the Board of Ed does hereby approve the bid for HPS HVAC Phase 6, the electrical rebid to statewide electrical as follows. The total contract recommendation, $977,699. Other project costs, $284,030. Total amount is $1,261,729. Jim, would you like to?
Where's gonna?
Hers is on.
Oh, go.
All right, sorry.
Okay.
Actually, we have Joe here today from Frank Rewald. He can answer any questions. This is when we brought the HVAC for the high school. That's going to be in the summer of 25 and 26. We did not receive electrical bids. So we had to go back and rebid the electrical, and this is the result of that rebid. But Joe could answer any questions for you.
Perfect. So can you explain what happened with the bid the first time around?
Yeah, so it happens here and there. We sent out a bid that was, general trades, mechanical, as well as electrical. And for whatever reason, I don't know if it's just the timing, how it lined up, we received several bids for the other categories and we did not receive one for electrical. We then turned around and bid it back out about 2 weeks later. Did some more engagement with some contractors, kind of worked with some new contractors, kind of more local to the area. And then we surprisingly received like half a dozen bids. So really, sometimes it happens that way. It ended up working out better for the school district than if we would have just maybe received one bid in the other project. We actually had something to kind of compare and contrast, so.
Any other questions? All right, how do you vote, Olgahay?
Aye.
Hall? Obey?
Aye.
And I, resolution passes 4 ayes, 3 absent. Resolution 12, approval of emergency instruction plan motion.
Motion.
Olgahay, second.
Second.
Obeyed, resolved, the Board of Ed does hereby approve the district emergency instruction plan as submitted. So it is in our shared drive. It's basically explaining that a district can provide up to 15 days of virtual instruction without the need for consent from a pupil's parent or legal guardian. And they have created a plan for those virtual days. Do we have any discussion? Huh? So,
Read
yeah.
it one more time, please.
Yeah. So, it is an option school districts can employ where a district may provide up to 15 days of virtual instruction without need for consent from the pupil's parent or legal guardian, where the district has created a plan for providing that virtual instruction. And days can include emergency closures, student testing days, PD days, etc. So that's what the plan is for. So, Jim, give an example where you want to use it.
Sure. Actually, if we had calamity day, let's say we had ice storm that went over 2 weeks, you have 6 calamity days, you could go to virtual. And we have pivoted to virtual in the past. Normally we work with HFT. We try to plan it ahead, so staff can be prepared, stay at home. This will just allow us to flex with additional days and for additional purposes.
So for snow days.
No, snow days you can take off for snow days.
You can take up to 6 days for
After the 6
calamity
days.
Yeah.
Not
Yes.
even after.
So
during.
why is this coming to the board? Is this something new or has
Well,
it been there?
it's been there. It was there last year. We didn't bring it to the board earlier. We're getting into winter season, so we were looking at it. We discussed it and said this might be an option going forward.
So you guys wanna have school,
That's okay, so if there is a bad weather day.
Right,
And
you
people
get it
call
off.
up school, that is
Yeah.
just off. But say something goes wrong, another example he gave, they could all teach from home, kids would have to school from home, and they don't have to ask the kids' parents about it because it's already,
Or if there were building issues, we had building issues last year where we had to close one school. We could have one school be virtual. We closed the whole district last year, a couple days for heat. So that would be a day that we could plan and we could use one of these days. So it gives us flexibility and to continue the educational process.
any other discussion?
So I do remember one time we had an issue with Talveda and they went virtual.
Yes.
What's the difference between then and now, needing this to be approved?
So,
Just a,
well, this will allow us additional days. Again, if we had to, it allows us to flex with one school or the whole district. And it's saying this is a plan if something happens to a school. It's built into the state system. We actually
Have a plan
report
in
these
place.
days. We have a plan in place, plus we report these days at the end of the year. And to meet the required days and hours for a year.
but the days don't have to be taken if we don't need them, correct?
Correct. Yes.
okay.
Thanks. Okay, how do you vote, Obey?
Aye.
Olgahay?
Aye.
Hall?
Aye.
Aye, nay, resolution fails. 3 ayes, 1 nay, 3 absent. Consent agenda, resolution 13, do we have a motion?
Motion.
Algain, do I have a second? I'll second. Resolved, the Board of Ed does hereby approve the following items under a consent. Our approval of our meeting minutes. A few hires, if anyone's in the audience, we'd appreciate if you said hello to you directly. And a school field trip with DJ. He's taking 12 of our student athletes and 2 coaches to Chicago for a basketball classic on November 30th, and they will travel by a charter bus. So we're wishing those athletes good luck. Anyone on the consent agenda here today? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried, 4 ayes, 3 absent. Resolution 14, motion to go to closed session. Motion?
Motion.
Again, obey resolve the Board of Ed does hereby meet in closed session for the following purposes: to receive and consider opinion of legal counsel. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carried, 4 ayes, 3 absent. Meeting went into close at 6:34 p.m. Thank you. All right, resolution 15, open session, motion.
Motion.
Hall, and I heard Elgahame. Resolved that the Board of Ed does hereby resume the meeting in open session. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried, 4 ayes, 3 absent. Meeting resumed in open session at 7:14 PM. Next up, we have our board calendar updates. So we're gonna vote on the setting of our organizational meeting, this meeting, just to get ready for the upcoming year. So we're gonna have December 4th, our regular Wednesdays at 6. And then we're also going to do the first January weekend, when the district is open, which is January 8th, at 6, right? The district's open on January 6th, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Monday?
Yeah, not Monday, Wednesday. It's a Wednesday, January 8th.
8.
Yeah, okay. So district's opening then, so those are gonna be our meetings. And then, is anyone not available for December 4th or January 8th? All right, resolution 16, setting of the organizational meeting for January 2025, motion.
Motion?
Obeyed, second.
Second.
Elgahame, resolved, the Board of Ed does hereby set the org meeting for 2025 as January 8th, 2025 at 6 PM. The regular meeting will immediately follow. Any discussion? How do you vote, Obeyed?
Aye.
Elgahame?
Aye.
Hall? And aye, resolution passes 4 ayes, 3 absent. We're gonna skip around a little bit. We're gonna go straight into the policy reads first. Jim, I'm gonna unmute, take it away. Explain what we're doing that. Oh.
Policy read?
Yeah, is where are we updating the language?
Oh,
Yeah,
oh, I'm sorry.
yeah, you're right.
Yeah, for our Title IX coordinator, we're, in the past, we've named an individual that is the Title IX coordinator. Because we have turnover, what we're doing is we're changing this to a title of a position. So, for instance, the Director of State and Federal Funding, whoever is occupying that position, will be Dr. Leitz now, would be the Title IX coordinator. Same with Director of Human Resources. So we're just naming a title instead of a person. Have a two people that individuals can go to.
So the only concern I have with this, and because it's just out there, the positions we picked, the current person in one, if you Google them, there's something that come up about Title IX, and then the other one is an interim. Is there a way to change the language to just explain it'll be an administrator in central office? So that way we don't have to keep changing the title?
No, you have to name a position or a person to be that go-to person. And for Director of State and Federal Funding, Title IX is federal, and that makes sense. HR would be another person that would do investigations and the person to go to.
Even if they have an interim title, that's okay? Oh, sorry, that's annoying that we're connected like this.
You're okay, as long as the other ones are.
Oh, okay,
Oh.
go, you're good.
That wouldn't matter because the interim director is filling the role of the director. That would, it would be the interim, the director, whoever's in that position.
So those are the only questions I had about it, because I think if we're making this policy change, which one of these positions doesn't exist anymore, right? Or does it? Yeah,
Right.
DEIJ one doesn't exist anymore, so that's absolutely fair to update that policy. I just wanted to bring up some of the concerns that would come up if folks have questions about the policy change. But I do like that there's two folks in these roles, so you can report to who you need to, if you needed to. So, I'm okay with it, and then, so because it's our policy, this would essentially be the permanent choice until we make another change.
Correct.
Anyone else? Does anyone else have any questions or have an understanding what's going on? All right, so then, next meeting, we would approve the change for our Title IX coordinators to go from Director of Special Services to Director of State and Federal Funding, and then our MTSS DEHI coordinator to our Director of Human Services. Any other edits to these policies while we're looking at them? All right, if you have any questions before our next meeting, feel free to do that. And now I'm going to bounce it back to Jim for reports to the board.
All right, thank you. First report's operational millage. So the non-homestead millage, as we all know, passed. That's great. Going to 18 mills, that represents $2.7 million to the district. First, I want to thank the Vote Yes Committee. Second, Hamtramck Teachers Union, paraprofessionals, for organizing the committee and having staff to volunteer knocking on doors, talking with parents, operating the phone bank, and being at the ballot locations or the voting locations, I'm sorry. And to thank HA, AFSCME, and all staff for communicating information to our parents and community. And to thank our board for the leadership in initiating the millage early. I believe this will provide the district with stability and provide us the opportunity to continue to build trust with staff and with our students and parents and community as a whole. The other millage that we didn't talk a lot about was the Wayne County and county-wide enhancement millage. That represents about $1 million to the district. Both very important to the district, provides us with the ability to plan and budget out into the future. On the Conant.
Before you move on to that, I also want to personally thank Mr. Vice President for all of his direct work on the operating millage. I appreciated the committee for asking board members to get involved, but he really stepped up with time, energy, and money. You were there knocking doors. I think you stopped by my neighborhood at one point. So thank you so much directly for all the work you've done. I think you connecting the committee with active community organizations, respective community organizations, greatly helped the turnout of the yeses. So thank you very much.
Thank you for the recognition.
All right, second is the Conant building. So the Conant building we bought, I believe, in 2019 or 2020. The building, we had some issues with a tenant that was in part of the building. We settled a lawsuit with a tenant. Tenant left in late June. Since early July, we've been, working on the building. We actually were. It's the first time that most people had seen it. It is a spot that really facilitates a space for central office. So we've been working on. We met first with staff to really lay out the design where, people that would be going there. We're looking at pupil services, special education, curriculum, instruction, and technology eventually. We had hoped to have, we're doing it in phases. First phase would have been pupil services. We're hoping that they would be in the building by now. As anything with construction goes, we had actually a water flow issue. So instead of turning the water on and letting staff go there, then have to turn it off, go through all that process, we decided to wait. Also for the health and safety of the staff. Currently, we don't have hot water, so people can wash their hands with hot water. So that we have the part on order. It's been about 2 weeks. We're hoping to get an update soon. I was hoping to get an update before it came to the board. We will be getting temporary furniture delivered tomorrow. So as soon as the water issue is done, we'll be able to start moving staff over there. This building, we will still have the superintendent's office, business, and HR. It will allow us to do more interviewing here, set the board up, so maybe you don't have to come here every board meeting and set all this up for us. We can just leave it here as a standing boardroom.
What do you mean though temporary furniture?
Furniture is on order. To get furniture, it takes about 8 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So we're getting just temporary furniture. I know that instruction and special education has talked about just getting something like this to get over into the space.
All right. And what do you do with that stuff once the real furniture comes in?
We can distribute it throughout the district because there will be uses for that.
Okay.
So That leads me into the facility study. So, something that I've been talking about since, I think the June budget hearing is, planning. We need to plan. So we had Plant Moran Cressa do a facility study. And this is about a 100-page document that they went through all of our buildings, looked at. We had, architects, engineers, our construction people going through and just listing everything, things with warranties, how long a water heater, lasts, and doing some of those things. Then also we're looking at, one of the things, we put the Conant building in there. So, it allows us to take this now to the principals and say, for example, I'll give examples, like at the high school, we have the auditorium, beautiful space, needs a lot of love, so, maybe that's something that we put into this facility study, and we price it out, and then we bring it back, and then we'll meet with staff, and I want to meet with high school students to really prioritize and find out what some of the high list projects are. I've done this in 2 previous districts, and the one surprising thing is, the high school students, I expected it to be something, I don't know, like a new cafeteria, new gym. The number one thing they wanted was bathrooms.
Yep.
And I will say that we do have a problem right now with our high school bathrooms. Some of this came about with COVID, and a lot of districts are finding issues with their buildings because the building was really shut down. We should have, have been going in there weekly, running water, just making sure that the water flow was going. But what happened is, with a year being out, with our old plumbing,
Talking about the second floor?
talking about second floor, first floor, but for second floor mostly, yes,
Yeah.
in this instance, the pipes have corroded. So now what we're finding is second floor leaks into the first floor. And of course you have bathrooms on top of each other because the plumbing runs up and down. So that is one of the, that's a health and safety issue that we're really looking at now. Bruce Coleman and our construction team, architects, they're looking at that now. We're hoping to bring something to the board in, I'm hoping February, March, for approval to replace the plumbing in the bathrooms over the summer. High school is going to be shut down anyway for HVAC, finish some of the windows, so that's a perfect, and also the elevator. So it's a perfect time to get in there and do more work while everything's shut down. Some of the other things that, we list, Dickinson West, we know that's portables have been talked about. So the process will be, now that we've had this document, I've sent it out to the building principals. I want to get the building, I want to review it with the building principals so they will be able to go to their staff, present it to their staff at their next staff meeting in December. Then I would like to hold voluntary meetings, get staff input, and again, like I said, I would like to meet with students really at the high school, because that's where you really get some really good feedback. They've been in the system for a long time. And then take it to the community, get community input with a timeline to come back to the board in January or February. And then would present it, all the findings, and that's when you would prioritize it. We prioritize in 3 categories, 1 to 3 years, 4 to 6, and then 7 to 10. So those priorities will help us identify what we want to do over the next 10 years. And we can list the highest priority, whatever that might be, that will be determined through a process that I described.
Thank you.
And I think that's it.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
Take it away from me.
All right, next thing is audience participation. This portion of the agenda is for citizens to address any questions or comments to the board. The board will listen, take comments and question under advisement, and not respond at this time. The presiding officer will refer question to the superintendent for research and response. First up is Gemara Turki.
Good evening, thank you. My name is Jamal Turki, a father for a student and uncle for other one. He's in the high school. And my first professor just came like 2 weeks ago from Yemen. And he tried to use the bathroom and he said condition is so bad. So I don't know if there is like plan to fix it soon or you already work on it. And the other issue is for the city, for the council. I don't know what's prevent you to adopt absence policy. I keep reading the news like there is members here, they are absent more than a year. And if they get paid this time, I think this waste the taxpayers. Those are my concerns, and I hope to answer, hear any answer about this. Thank you.
Thank you. Abir Al-Kumei. Abir.
Once you start now.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Abdullah Dubai. I'm coming today to talking about the decision being made about cutting each paraprofessional's hours at ECE. Our paraprofessionals ECE are needed on a daily basis. We help out by bringing the children in and taking them to the bus while the teachers take the rest of the class for arrival and dismissal. Paraprofessional help with translation for the families because the different language and speak many different language. We assist children all day long with our teachers. Cutting hours will greatly impact the children as well as all of the staff at ECE. Inflation is high and we can't afford to have hours cut. We struggle with inflation as it is just to pay our place, buy grocery and private of families. We need to focus on what is best for our children, and cutting the paraprofessional hours at ECE will impact the children in the negative way. Please put yourself in my place and tell me how you do. Having our cutting paraprofessional hour is not fair decision. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Next up, Mubashara Janat. Mubashara Janat.
Hello everyone, my name is Mubashira Jannat. I am a community member that sees the dedication that many of our parapros and substitute teachers have within the school community. Our students wouldn't see the value that parapros and substitute teachers bring to our school community without their support and example. Their attendance in Hamtramck Public Schools is vital for the greater good of our students, educators, and our schools. As a student once attending Hamtramck Public Schools and being a sped para and now doing my student teaching here, I have seen the dedication that teachers and parapros make inside the school community. I remember the assistance that they provided to our educators, such as helping the teacher explain crucial information related to the content to our students in their native language when students would not understand the material. Our parapros are familiar faces that students have seen their siblings and themselves go to school with. I remember my own parapro back in 2006 when I was a kindergarten student. Her name was Miss Mimi. Miss Mimi helped me when we would eat lunch together, play outside during recess, and in the classroom when I needed any type of assistance. She helped me in improving my English as a bilingual student. Parapros have also dealt with situations at times when they were injured or attacked by some of our special friends inside the classroom. Parapros provided major support to families when it came to IEP meetings, conferences, and dealing with personal family issues a student might be going through. Parapros would also help students whenever they had an accident in the bathroom. Even after all the situations they have experienced, many of our parapros have been a part of Hamtramck Public Schools for more than 1 to 2 decades. Their dedication and solidarity to our students in the community has been proven over time. Since the millage was passed recently, I believe the extra money can support our school community greatly. The extra funds can help support senior students who are transitioning to college soon. The extra funds can help bring a higher salary to our educators and to all our paras, whether they be SPED or general para. Both. The effort that was put to pass the millage can now be put back into our schools to help support staff and students. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Next up, Shahida. Katim.
She's left.
Mutahara Janat.
Good evening. My name is Mutahara Jannat and I am a substitute at ECE. I am here today in response to the proposed decision to cut paraprofessionals' working hours and to eliminate substitute positions. For the past 3 years, I have supported both special education and general education classrooms. During this time, I've witnessed firsthand the crucial role that paraprofessionals and substitutes play in providing stability, care, and guidance to our students. In my role as a substitute SPED parent, I assisted my teacher in meeting students' behavioral, emotional, and instructional needs. Each day, I helped students with breakfast, worked with them academically during instruction time, and supported their physical needs, whether that meant hygiene assistance, bathroom trips, or clothing changes. I even stepped in to cover specials like art and gym when needed. As a substitute gen ed para, I continue to provide academic and emotional support to my students. From the moment they walk into the classroom to the moment they go home, I am there. I set up breakfast, help troubleshoot computer issues, check their homework, their classwork, work with them one-on-one and in small groups, and support their classroom teacher. My responsibilities extend beyond academics. I lead students to recess, specials, lunch, and help during transitions. Being a para is more than just a job. It's about forming bonds and being a trusted figure in their lives. Our students look up to us not only for academic support, but for emotional reassurance. They deserve to see adults who represent their community, people that they can look up to and feel understood by. When I was a preschooler at ECE back in 2006, I remember my own classroom para, Miss Dalara, a Bengali woman just like me. I'll never forget her warm smile, the way she brought us lunch and played with us in the gym, helped us at nap time, and squeezed toothpaste onto our little disposable cups so we could brush our teeth after we woke up. Even after preschool, her kindness stayed with me. Now, at 22 years old, as I prepare to graduate this upcoming May from university, I still see her every morning. She has gone from being my preschool para to now becoming my coworker. The role of paras and substitutes in our schools is vital. Cutting hours or eliminating these roles would mean taking away the stability, care, and support that our students depend on. But it would also directly impact the livelihoods of those who serve them, the livelihoods of dedicated staff who depend on this job to support their own families. Let us remember the profound impact we can have in a child's life simply by being there for them every day. I urge you to reconsider this decision and protect the invaluable support paras and substitutes provide to our students and our community. Thank you.
Thank you. Thuriya Saleh.
Good evening. My name is Treya Saleh. I have lived in Hamtramck for over 30 years. I am a parent of a child who attends HBS. This is my 11th year working for HBS as a general education peer pro. After an administration meeting with the district on Monday, my principal shared that general education peer pros hours are being reduced from 32.5 hours to 27.5 hours, which is a cut of 5 hours per week and 20 hours per month. This is a terrible disservice to our students. Additionally, the HFT contract for peer pros does not specifically state that these new hours, rather it states specifically in section 3.8, hours of work, the building principal will determine each employee's work schedule. Those schedules will be based on program building needs for the entire time. For the entire time that I have worked as a peer professional, I have worked 32.5 hours a week. This has been very clear and it has never been a problem before. It is confusing as to why HBS leadership is willing to cut peer pros hours and pay, while continuing to hire more and more people with a salary each of almost $1,000 per year at the district office. We as peer pros work so hard, going above and beyond in everything we do. We work so hard from the minute we walk in the door, helping with arrival time for the students, as well as interpreting for families that drop off their children with any questions or concerns. We would appreciate and welcome anyone from the district office to come visit our students and staff and see what we do. We are here daily representing the Hamtramck community, and we serve children throughout the day. How can HBS leadership take the most from the people that get paid the least and yet continue to hire more and more people who are not in the classrooms helping children to learn? Is this how you plan to represent the Hamtramck community and serve our children? I am asking for your help to preserve our jobs with the hours we currently have and our pay. We too have families with children who should not suffer because we work for HBS. The millage has been passed by the community. We are part of the community, so this is not the time to reduce our hours, which is a cut in pay. We actually deserve a raise. You asked for our support, and we gave it. Now we are asking for yours. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Next up, Dilara Ahmed.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Dilara Ahmed. I have been working as a therapist in early childhood elementary school since 2001. I am having a very hard time supporting my family according to my income. Everything now at the stores have an increased price, but my income is not increasing that much. So if you cut my hours, how can I support my family? Also, in the summertime, school is closed. I cannot collect unemployment during that time. I am working with preschool students. I am doing very hard work with them. Preschool at all times needs two people with them. I am working in the classroom, engage with kids, and with whatever is needed to do, such as interpreter, making phone calls to students, family, and much more. As a parent and mother of former students of Hamtramck schools, I ask you to reconsider this decision of reducing my hours and increasing my salary.
Thank you. Linda?
Hello. I'm Linda Vawiniewicz. I want to introduce myself. I was elected yesterday to sit on the board.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I would like to thank the voters for trusting me with this position. I'd also like to thank the teachers union and Joe for helping so much with the campaign. I'm looking forward to contributing and being a part of the board.
Likewise. Thank you.
Good luck.
And lastly, Mohammed Al-Gahim.
Hello.
Hi.
Yeah, I just wanted to introduce myself. My name is Mohammed Al-Gahim. I was elected as well yesterday to the board. So just wanted to thank all the voters and the community and everybody for their support. And just want to say I look forward to working with, you know, the future board members and the teachers and staff and everybody and, you know, try to make this a better and brighter future for the kids.
Congratulations. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any more business items to discuss? No? Okay, regular meeting adjourned at 7:45.